Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back. Thank you so much for stopping by once again. Today's video will be centered around the continuation of our previous tutorial, which is how to make a gathered dress with Basque effect. Okay, so guys, if you're yet to subscribe, please don't forget to do so, and if you have subscribed, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support and all you do for the growth of the channel. Thank you so much. So without wasting much of your time, guys, let's get started. So guys, at this point, after closing up the neckline, if you can remember, we closed up the neckline using a bias tape, okay? And I gave an illustration on how to do so if you don't know how to do it, okay? So I'll simply go ahead and close up the shoulders. So I place the right sides facing each other, okay? So I'll do that off camera. So guys, I'll simply go ahead and create our sleeve. This is a pattern for the sleeve. I'll drop the link for those who don't know how to draft the basic sleeve. I have a detailed tutorial on this. Okay, so the armhole curve is about 11.75 inches. Okay, so I used my measuring tape to determine the curve on the pattern. So guys, I'll simply go ahead and draw a straight line because we'll be using a slash and spread method for this illustration. There's no standard for this, just slash as many lines as possible, okay? Just ensure that it's just within the pattern on your basic sleeve, okay? Don't do too much. Okay, so I went ahead to label it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will help us to identify each strip, okay, by the time we're done, so that we don't get things all mixed up. So I'll go ahead and cut this out like this, as you can see me doing, okay? So guys, this is what we have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'll simply go ahead and place this on the fabric. So this is the fabric we're using for the sleeve. Okay, so as you can see, I'll be cutting the two sleeves at the same time. So I folded it once and then I'll go ahead and fold it again. Okay, so you can decide to draft it one at a time, you can decide to cut it out at the same time. So I'll go ahead and place it, fold it again. So in other words, we're creating two sleeves at the same time. Okay, so make sure that your fabric is well placed and uniform. Okay, so I'll go ahead and use a pin to secure it, okay, so that won't be having any form of movement while we're drafting the pattern. Okay, so you can see the importance of labeling your strips so that you don't get things all mixed up. So I'll go ahead and place it according to the numbers we have there. So I have one, then I'll go ahead and place the other one. So I'll be working with 1 inch interval. Okay, so it depends on how much gathering effect you want to create on the sleeve. You can go ahead and do as much as 1.5 or 2, but I went ahead to demarcate one strip from each other by 1 inch. Okay, so I'll do this till I get to the last strip, which is the number 5 on the basic sleeve. Okay, so this is 1 inch interval. The distance between the third and the fourth is 1 inch, and the distance between the fourth and the fifth is also 1 inch. Okay, I hope we understand it at this point. So ensure that while you're placing your pattern, just look at the lines, make sure that it's well placed, okay, and it's uniform. It's very important. So you can see that it's just a distance of 1 inch between one strip and the other one. Okay, so yeah, so we're good here. Okay, so I'll go ahead and use my tailor's chalk to draw a line. It's not necessary. You can go ahead and just cut out the pattern, but for the sake of those who want it to be very detailed and for clarity, okay, so you can use your tailor's chalk to draw a line and then cut it out. Okay, okay, so while you're cutting, ensure that you place at least half an inch above. You can see that above there's a little, I didn't directly cut on the pattern, I create at least half an inch for joining. So I'll simply go ahead and notch this point and then I'll open it up so that we can see what we have. Okay, so I'm also notching this point where the the spread, where I did the spread, so I also notched it. I notched the center point, and then I also notched where the slash and the spread stopped. Okay, I hope you understand. By the time I open it up, I will still have to explain what I eventually did. Okay. So guys, you can see I have two sleeves on my working table, and you can virtually see that. Okay, you can see where I notched. This is center point. Okay, so this is, I'm trying to notch it properly so that, okay, we can see it very well. Okay. Okay, so we're good here. Okay, so having done this, you can see where I notched. It actually means that that's exactly where the slash and spread stops. So I'll simply go ahead and gather this sleeve until I get, by the time I place my measuring tape, I should be able to get 11.75 after gathering. Okay, and that is the importance of getting an accurate measurement of your armhole curve on the basic sleeve. In other words, by the time I gather this, I should be able to get 11.75 as well. Okay, on fold, 11.75 on fold, not on a spread. Okay, so 11.75. So I've done the gathering, and this is what I have here. And I went ahead to use an elastic there. So I just secured the elastic down there with a zigzag stitch. Guys, it's not difficult. Just place your elastic, cut your elastic, the required measurement you want for that particular area. Then you stretch it and you stitch. Okay, so in other words, you create the gathering on the lower parts. Okay, so guys, what I'll simply do next is to go ahead and attach the sleeve. So remember that I notched the center front. So this is basically the importance of notching to help you. It's more like a guide for you. So I will just place it to match the center there of the shoulder. Then I'll simply go ahead and run my stitch on both sides. Okay, so you can see what I did. So I'll take this to my sewing machine just in this manner, how I placed it. I'll just run my stitch. Okay, I'll just secure the sleeve to the armhole. So when I do that, then I can now go ahead and close up the sides. So guys, I'll do that for both sides. Okay, I have two sleeves here. This is the other one I'll be using for the other sides. So you can see the same elastic effect. Cut the required elastic measurement that you want to enable you gather the sleeve below. Okay, so you stretch and you stitch. Okay, so basically I use this zigzag stitch on the elastic. Okay, so I've attached the sleeve and you can see what we have here. And then after attaching the sleeve, I close up the side. It's easier for me to do this, attaching my sleeve first before closing up the sides. For some other persons, they close up the sides and attach sleeves. So whatever works for you is fine. So guys, I'll simply go ahead and attach the lower parts of this dress. Well, basically what I need to do first is to get an accurate measurement of this region. Okay, so which is basically the waistline for me. Okay, so I'll just take an accurate measurement of the entire length. So just watch me and I'm sure you understand what I am trying to achieve here. So guys, the entire length gave a total measurement of 49.5. Okay, so as you can see, that's what I got on my measuring tape, 49.5. Please measure accurately so that you don't have any form of shortage. Okay, it's very important. So I'll simply go ahead and multiply the 49.5 by 4. So it depends on the amount of fabric you have. You can do multiply by 4, you can multiply by 3, you can multiply by 2. depends on how much effect, gathering effect you want to create. If you want a mild, if you want a more pronounced, and also based on the availability of your fabric. Okay, so guys, the half length is 25 inches, and then the full length measurement of the dress is 43. So I'm going to be subtracting 43 from 25. Sorry, I'm going to be subtracting 25 from 43, and I have a total length of 18 inches. So have in mind that this fabric is 18 inches in length, and then about 198 inches by width. Okay, so crosswise we have 198, in fact approximately 200 inches to be on the safe side, to be more honest. But the length is 18 inches. But what I did basically was to cover the hem. I did a double fold for the hemline. Okay, so ensure that you close up your hemline, and then you can now go ahead and create your gathering effect. Okay, so this is 18 inches. Okay, and you can see I used a double fold for the hem. So creating a double fold is not easy. Just you fold and then you refold again, and then you take it to your sewing machine and you run your stitch. Okay, so more like folding twice. Okay, so I'll take this off camera to create the gathering effect. So this is what we have here. I actually used a loose stitch or a basting stitch for this gathering. So when you run your loose stitch or your basting stitch, you just use your hands to pull it. Okay, so you can see it's very easy to do. You can use your needle and thread to actually achieve this, or you use your sewing machine. There's also a loose stitch on the sewing machine. Okay, so guys, haven't done this, ensure that at the end you don't gather the end. You kind of leave the end of that fabric not gathered, because you'll be needing that for your seam allowance. Okay, so 1 inch seam allowance on both sides on the gathered fabric. Okay, so I'll simply go ahead and place this way. So just watch me. It's very easy to do, most especially for beginners. It's not a difficult thing. So actually place this fabric, the gathered fabric, the right sides facing the right sides. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing, just pulling it in the direction of the waistline. So I'll just take this to my sewing machine and then I'll run a stitch. Okay, I'll just pull this. You can secure with a pin first. I'll simply advise that you secure with a pin because I actually did that first. So I'll take this to my sewing machine and I'll run a stitch, and then I'll bring it back for us to see. So thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to hit on the like button if this tutorial was helpful in one way or the other, and don't forget to subscribe. Please subscribe and be a part of our community. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.